Introverted Thinking, TI. Introverted thinking is your brain's internal logic machine. It focuses on building mental systems that make perfect sense, step by step. People who use introverted thinking constantly ask, does this actually make sense or am I missing something? They rely on reasoning, not gut feelings, and they won't rest until every part fits logically. In neuroscience, introverted thinking is linked to activity in the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for abstract reasoning and error detection. That's why people who lead with introverted thinking naturally spot inconsistencies and flaws faster than most. They build models in their mind like a scientist builds formulas, testing, tweaking, and rebuilding until the system runs perfectly. You'll find introverted thinking in types like INTPs and ISTPs, who often seem quiet but are mentally dissecting everything they hear. To them, truth isn't about opinion, it's about internal precision. They're the people who debug ideas the same way coders debug code. Extraverted Thinking, TE. Extraverted thinking is logic that works in the real world. It's the brain's project manager, focused on structure, measurable results, and external order. While introverted thinking looks inward for consistency, extraverted thinking looks outward for efficiency. It's about what works, not what feels right. Studies show that extraverted thinking correlates with executive functioning networks in the frontal and parietal lobes, the same brain regions that manage planning, decision-making, and organization. That's why extraverted thinking users think in lists, steps, and outcomes. They prefer structure over chaos and evidence over guesswork. You'll see extraverted thinking strongest in ENTJ and ESTJ. People who don't just theorize, they execute. When something fails, they fix the system and move forward. They lead because their minds automatically sort data into priorities, turning ideas into action. Extraverted thinking gives logic a backbone. It's how we turn theory into progress. Introverted Feeling, if I. Introverted feeling is your personal moral processor. It filters experiences through emotion and asks, is this true to me? It's not about popularity. It's about authenticity. People with strong introverted feeling don't just feel deeply, they evaluate every choice through personal ethics and values. In brain studies, introverted feeling has been connected to strong activity in the insula and limbic system, areas that manage internal emotional awareness. That's why introverted feeling users are so tuned into their inner world. They literally feel the signals that guide them. INFPs and ISFPs often lead with introverted feeling, making them independent thinkers with strong empathy. But unlike extroverted feeling, which focuses on group emotions, introverted feeling works quietly inside. It's the reason someone might refuse to do something even if everyone else agrees, because to them, being real matters more than fitting in. Introverted feeling is emotion turned into integrity. Extraverted Feeling, if E. Extraverted feeling is emotional intelligence in motion. It reads people, adapts to them, and maintains connection. It's what helps someone walk into a room and instantly sense tension, excitement, or sadness without a single word being said. Extraverted feeling works closely with the mirror neuron system, the part of the brain that helps us empathize and read others' emotions automatically. That's why extraverted feeling users naturally sync with people. They mirror emotional energy in real time. You'll find extraverted feeling strongest in ENFJs and ESFJs, who know how to bring people together and make communication feel smooth. They pick up subtle cues, a sigh, a look, a tone, and adjust instantly to keep balance. Extraverted feeling is what keeps society emotionally stable. It reminds us that connection isn't random. It's a system, and empathy is how it runs. Introverted Intuition, in I. Introverted intuition is the mind's prediction engine. It collects patterns, compresses them, and forms big-picture insights that seem to appear out of nowhere. While others see separate details, introverted intuition connects them into one clear vision. Cognitive research links this kind of intuitive integration to the brain's default mode network, the system that becomes active during deep reflection, pattern recognition, and imagination. Introverted intuition users rely heavily on this network, which is why they often see future outcomes before others do. In INTJs and INFJs, introverted intuition works like mental time travel. It draws from past experiences, mixes them with present data, and forms predictions that guide decisions. It's not mystical. It's a high-level synthesis process. Introverted intuition helps us understand how ideas evolve and where they might lead if nothing changes. It's the quiet voice that connects everything into one clear direction. Extroverted intuition and E. Extroverted intuition is curiosity turned into a superpower. It constantly asks, what else could this mean? Instead of sticking to one perspective, it explores dozens of possibilities at once. Extroverted intuition users brainstorm naturally, jumping between ideas and discovering links others can't see. Studies suggest this creative flexibility comes from higher activity in the right hemisphere association areas, which integrate information across different contexts. That's why extroverted intuition types, like ENTPs and ENFPs, are so inventive and open-minded. Their brains are wired to make fast, flexible connections. Extroverted intuition thrives on novelty, imagination, and innovation. It's why some people can take a random thought and turn it into an entire theory in seconds. While others stop at what is, extroverted intuition races toward what could be. It's chaos with a purpose, the brain's natural way of finding infinite possibilities hidden inside one idea. Introverted Sensing (ISI). Introverted Sensing is the archive of your brain. It stores experiences like data, compares them with the present, and keeps you consistent. Introverted Sensing users have a strong memory for detail and tend to notice when something feels off, even if they can't explain why. Research connects introverted sensing style processing with the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory consolidation and pattern stability. This helps explain why introverted sensing users prefer structure, routine, and reliability. Their brain is wired to track what works and replicate it. In ISTJs and ISFJs, introverted sensing shows up as reliability, order, and respect for proven methods. They don't cling to the past out of fear. They use it as a map to avoid repeating mistakes. Introverted sensing grounds progress in experience, making sure change is safe, logical, and built on something real. It's not resistance to change, it's smart risk management. Extraverted Sensing (ISE). Extraverted sensing is raw awareness. It processes information through the five senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and motion in real time. People with strong extroverted sensing notice details others overlook and react almost instantly. Neuroscientifically, extroverted sensing ties to sensory motor cortex activity, the region that controls coordination, reaction speed, and spatial awareness. That's why extroverted sensing users are so quick to respond. Their brains are wired for immediate perception rather than long reflection. In ESTPs and ESFPs, extroverted sensing is the fuel for action. These types trust their instincts because their minds are constantly feeding on fresh data from their surroundings. They live in the present moment, not to escape thought, but because the present gives them all the information they need. Extroverted sensing is the human brain's way of staying perfectly tuned to reality. If you like this video, say less. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.